Okay, what the heck? I thought we'd go ahead and do this story problem. A current of 2 amps passes through a resistor R sub 1. That's this 2, R sub 1. A current of 3 amps passes through the resistor R sub 2. That's this 3, R sub 2. The total voltage across the resistor is 8 volts. And likewise, the next sentence says the current in the first resistor is 4 amps, so 4 times R sub 1. The second resistor 1 amp, so 1 times R sub 2 for a total voltage is 11. In case you're, I think it's called Ohm's law, voltage equals current times resistance. So that's why they're saying that the total voltage is 8 volts and the total voltage is 11 volts, because we're taking current times resistance plus current times resistance. Nonetheless, what I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to look at the first one as being 2x plus 3y equals 8. And if by chance you like slope-intercept form, you would subtract 2x from both sides in this equation. So you'd have 3y equals a negative 2x and then a positive 8. And then we'll divide both sides by 3. I'm going to go ahead and try to graph it, but it's very difficult to graph by hand. That's because 8 over 3 is 2 1/3. And so I've got to go to this y-intercept and try to graph at 2 1/3 is where I'm trying to put that. Up 1, 2 1/3. The slope is a negative 2 over 3, so I'll go down 2. So I'll just be above the x-axis, and I'll go to the right 3. I'll be a third above. I'm going to go ahead and connect these two dots and try to straighten that line out. All right, so let's now do the second equation. So let's call that 4x plus 1y equals 11. And then we'll subtract 4x from both sides of the equation, and we'll have y equals the negative 4x and the positive 11, because I like to see this in slope, m, and y-intercept, the b value, form. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is right behind the arrowhead right there. That's where the 11 is on that spot. The slope here is a negative 4 over a positive 1. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 and go to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, 4 and go to the right 1. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 into the right 1. I'm going to do it one more time. 2, 3, 4 into the right 1. And I'm going to draw a straight line. I particularly care about where these cross, and I'm still questioning. It looks to me like they're not going to cross in a very nice spot. So I believe the answer right here, that the x value is about 2.7 and the y value right here, here's 1, here's 0. The y value is about 0.8. Let's do this on the graphing calculator to find out. So the equation that I did, let's see, here's my first equation. It's y equals a negative 2, a negative 2 divided by 3x, a negative 2/3 x, plus 8 divided by 3. It will know order of operations. It will know to do the division, multiplication before it adds. And then the other equation was y equals a negative 4x plus 11. It's right here above my pen. Negative 4x plus 11. So negative 4x plus 11. And I already know that this should be in the rectangular coordinate system, where a negative 10 might be a nice window. So I just want to show you something. If you hit zoom and the number 6, I can just hit the 6 right now. That's a standard window. That gets my window back to where I want it. Here's that first line. Here's that line, and see where they cross? So remember, under the trace key there's the word calc. So second calc, I want to find the intersection point. So I just hit the 5 and enter, enter, enter. Hope I didn't do that too fast. and it gives me a value. The actual answer is 2.5 comma 1. 2.5 comma 1. From my picture I thought it was 2.7 comma 1. And so remember that that means r sub 1 is 2.5 and r sub 2 is equal to 1. So my check will go, and I'll take 2 times r sub 1, my first equation right here, 2 times 2.5 plus 3 times r sub 2, which is 1, and I want to see if that equals 8, and 2 times 2.5 is 5, and 5 plus 3 does equal 8. I'm going to take my next equation. I'm going to take 4 times r sub 1, which is 2.5, plus r sub 2, which is 1. I want to know if that equals 11. And 4 times 2.5 is 10, and 10 plus 1 does equal 11. This concludes solving a system of equations by graphically finding the intersection point of those two equations and then checking my answer. There are other ways to do this, and that's what we're going to develop as we move forward into the next section.